Hello. Okay. Don't mind me having a bad hair day. Just about ready for bed, but I thought I would just throw out one more video today. Um, so about a year ago, I was doing a route that would take me way out west of town. And when I get almost all the way out there, I'd pick up this big group of high school kids. It, 25, 30 of them. There's so many. And they would get on and they would fill the bus. And I mean fill the bus. Standing room only. I'd be having passengers right there at my yellow line. But it was funny because I would take them a couple miles down the road and then start dropping them off. And next thing you know, that there's hardly anybody left on my bus. However, I don't know what it is with this particular group of kids, but they were funny. They would get on the bus and they would have every excuse under the sun for not having fare. They lost their bus pass. Their phone was dead, which would have their, transit pass on their phone. They forgot to renew it. They left their money. I mean, just all kinds of reasons for why they didn't have fare. And I mean, some of them were creative. Like they would do a screenshot of somebody else's phone or like take a picture of it. I don't know how they did it, but they would have like a pass on their phone that just wasn't realistic. It was so funny the different things that they would come up with. But after a while, so the last thing I want to do is deny children, school kids, a way to get home. I want school to be as positive as a experience as possible. I don't want to do anything that would, prompt them to have anything less than a great time. Because in high school, that's when they start dropping out, and if I could, whatever I could do to help their success, I'll do that. But I couldn't just let them ride for free all the time. So I had to get creative, and I found a solution. And it worked. Boy, did it work. If they got on the bus, and for whatever reason they didn't have their fare, the expectation was that they would have to stand there and tell me, what did they learn in school today? I think maybe it embarrassed them a little bit, but sometimes after a while, I'd have them coming up to me. They already had their fare. They had already gotten on the bus, but they would just come to tell me what they'd learned in school today because I guess they needed somebody to care. And I mean, it was interesting for me, the stuff that these kids are learning these days. My gosh, definitely, I'd say they're a lot more advanced than I was when I was in high school. They're learning a lot more stuff. Sometimes the kids they wouldn't like it as much, but the ones that didn't like it as much, almost always they had their fare the next day, and so it's just, I don't know. It seemed like a more of a positive way to deal with that situation, and it works really well. And towards the end of my time doing that particular route, it was the last day that I did it. I brought a big old bowl full of candy, just M&Ms and Milky Ways and Snickers and just all kinds of candy for them. It was fun. I did have a good time with those kids sometimes. They were very interesting. They were very smart. It was just nice. Why deny a child a ride home? Just get them to tell you what they learned in school that day, and it worked for me. So, yeah, a good experience all around, I'd say. So, all right, that's it for me. This is Susie. Remember to spread kindness around like glitter whenever you have the opportunity. Always be kind. All right, have a great day.